I met a gypsy.
What was like the worst part of the process for you? Like when you're in that bad headspace and you were struggling in Geneva and you're like at that lowest point, like what's the thing that gets you there the most, or that got you there?
I think it's man, it was like, I think the hardest thing was the belief. Like I just didn't, like I had no like self-confidence in myself. I remember, for instance, the hardest thing was like I remembered being this like bad dude on a bike, and like, yeah, maybe I still was a little bit, but I didn't believe that at all. And like people were still had a ton of fans, and people were still super stoked to see me, and like they're paying me to come to Geneva and race. But like for me, I was like, it just didn't feel right. Like I just felt so, like it felt so foreign, like I wasn't even there, just like uncomfortable, and I couldn't do anything right on the bike. I just literally, dude, it was like I felt like I was wearing like an iron suit riding. Like I just felt so uncomfortable, and that went on for a couple of years over there. For some reason, I just couldn't. Nothing was going right. Didn't feel comfortable on the bike, and then had injuries, and then come back and injuries, and it just like all kind of morphed together. Yeah, it just compounded together, and I was just like, it finally got to the point where it's just like, well, probably like not gonna get any more jobs, like if I keep this up, like who's gonna want me to race for him? And then like I was just mentally just burnt out of it, and then so then I let go, and it turned my whole career around.
Yeah, man, it's crazy to think that, you know, you can be in such like a, because even just like your riding style, like just it's wild as fuck. And it has been like, I mean, it's gotten like you've reined it in, and it's still like, I think about
a little bit, yeah.
Like Anaheim 1 first lap, whipping off the triple and just landing to flat, like almost sideways. Like I wish I could have like a freeze frame of like what your bike looked like when you landed from that. So it's like, I don't know, just to know there's that guy, and then to hear like the way that you struggled. And there's probably something to it that you don't know what you don't know, right? So like that's the first time you're going through something that gnarly, and it's the first time you're in that kind of headspace. You're probably just sitting there thinking, well, I guess this is just what happens to dirt bike dudes. You bad dude, and then you're just not good at riding anymore, and then you retire and you get another job. Like, you know, it'd be very easy if you've never been through that before to just think that that's how this shit goes.
Yeah, the weight I had, the pressure I felt like I had on my shoulders the whole time I was at GGR was so gnarly. It was like, you know, I left Honda. I just wasn't like, I was just looking for a change. It just wasn't, the fit didn't feel right to me. I just wanted to have more fun, and I felt like, you know, it was like talking to JGR and, you know, talking to Coach Gibbs, and get the call from them, and they're super interested, and they fly this private jet down to my, you know, property down in Florida, that close airport. They fly me up to a facility, check it out, and I'm like, this is awesome. Like, this is the sickest thing ever. And I like was so stoked in their operation and what they could do. And I went there and I had surgery before I got on the bike and got healthy and all good, and then getting ready, and it was like some injuries and stuff like that, and just the pressure like I felt like I had there. Like I had this big contract, and it just, dude, it just piled up on me, and it kept, like I would have these breakthrough moments like that, like you said, like scrubbing that triple, throwing it sideways. Like I had these moments, like I'd win a race, and like I gave them lots of race wins and lots of firsts and stuff like that, but I was never, you know, I went there believing that I could win championships, and they believed that as well. And I was never able to, you know, we were never able to make that happen. So it was just a huge, man, it was the pressure. It was like just crumbled really. And then towards the end, obviously, like they were, you know, Yamaha was starting their team again. So that was pretty crazy actually. That time too, they got a call, obviously, and like, I was starting a team, and like then like I don't know what went on, but I got a call and they're like, hey, we need to have a meeting with you, and they're like, yeah, we're either gonna have to fold the team, or you're gonna have to take like this huge pay cut, and we're gonna do Suzuki for a year. And I'm like, that was like, and I was alone. I was living alone up there. Like that was the first time I was kind of away from, like, not away from my family, but I was just like up there doing my thing. So that was like, I was in a bad place already, and then they threw that at me, and it was like, whoa, like this is crazy. Like I have to make this decision. like, like, I was on my last year contract, so it was like, just like so surreal. Like, and then I was already not in a good place, and then get thrown on this new bike and having to get it done in 1 year, and more injuries and things like that. And it was just, like I said, the pressure was so gnarly. It just, yeah, it broke me down big time.
So is the pressure the money? Like the fact that they've given you like this big contract, and then with that, it's like, righto, you're the championship guy, like go win it. And then as soon as you're not, because there's a point in the season, like, I mean, you could probably get like 4 or 5 races in and know, like, okay, I'm not going to win the championship, which that's always like gnarly too, that we get 17 rounds, which I think it's probably like a different, maybe we'll save this for the next question, but it's like you get 17 rounds, but then it's like the points all go in this order that you can be 5 races in, and it's like, yeah, it's over, like you're not going to win the championship. So then, like, what do you race for? But yeah, I guess, was it just the pressure then of like having such a big contract and then just feeling like you're just not delivering on it?
Honestly, no. It was the feeling that I had was I couldn't deliver the podiums and the wins. That was really what hurt me like the most. Like the money aspect of it never came into play really for me. Like obviously, yeah, I went there and got paid a lot of money and was supposed to do all this stuff, but it was more of like what really like broke me down inside was I just couldn't do it. Like I couldn't go and get the job done that I wanted to get done. And then like you just see like people lose, believe in you, and then just things start to crumble apart. So that was just like mentally just like tough.
Yeah. And then if you've never been through that before, like I feel like you could go through a struggle at Gas in a similar way but it just wouldn't spiral to where it did, purely because you've been through it before, But when it's your first time going through something like that, you just don't know how to deal with it.
Definitely. Like even like last year, I felt like things kind of didn't go the way I wanted them to go, but I was still like it never crumbled apart or felt like that. Obviously disappointment and like wanted to perform and do all these things, but it's like even at the end of Supercross, we were still like battling for 3rd place in the championship, so it was still strong, but definitely it wasn't like, it didn't ruin us. We were still fighting. So yeah, it was it's just different. And the first time you go through that definitely it can tear you down big time.
And so what's it like then to hit that point in a series where you're like, I ain't going to win the title, but you still, like, obviously you still want to go and get the job done. Like there's still bonus money, but like, is there like a weird switch mentally when like you almost check yourself out of the championship race?
It sucks for sure. It's yeah, it's not fun, but I think when you're in that position, you move on to the next thing. It's like, okay, now I'm gonna fight for trying to get third, top 3 in the championship.
Yeah.
So, and I've been in that position a lot of times. So I never it never hits me to where I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna cruise around and like just roll around and collect a check. Like that's no way. Like that's just not my style. So I'm always like, no matter what, like buckle the helmet up. I'm gonna go out there and give it my all, no matter what, and fight for It's like I remember it might have been Dino or something, or I can't remember who it was, but we were battling. Like I saw him someone do an interview, and we were battling for like 5th, 6th, 7th place, and he's like, yeah, the dude's racing like he's going for the win. And I'm like, that's just how I am.
We're excited to announce the launch of our new membership site, GYPSYTales.com, packed with exclusive content and perks that you won't find anywhere else. This is your chance to become a part of the Gypsy Gang. And as a special bonus, if you sign up to an annual membership, you'll be entered into the draw to win our custom-built TC125. Gypsy Gang.